So Cancer, this is your reading for the month of Aquarius. For me, of course, this is the age of Aquarius speaking to us because the sun in Aquarius is highlighting the moon in Cancer. And so the story here goes that your star that you have at your crown chakra is now above you, guiding you through Aquarius. So this combination is interesting because you are a water sign, you are deep in your emotions, you are connected with the moon, you're at home, and nevertheless you're called to constantly get out of your comfort zone because you're the fourth house of family and friends. And so here Aquarius is almost guiding you or giving you the light to now go really out in nature, because there is nothing that indicates that there is a town nearby. And so you are pushed to really go out and find your star in the sky. This is the 11th house of friendships. So maybe friends are now helping you to go further and deeper into finding yourself and in finding that you are a star as well. Now this is Uranus guiding Aquarius. Uranus is the revolution, and the age of Aquarius is here, and this is the revolution. And at the same time, an evolution as well. And you are guided by the moon, which is the mother in your case. So here we can see this story, the title for this reading, and we see how the star is pointing or directed into the left spinning cycle and you going straight ahead. There's no right, no left. There is this focused, pointed, goal-oriented direction. The yoga position for the Aquarius is the side plank, becoming a star through the transformation of the hexagram, the 7, and the 7 is here in your crown. And so there's a 7-7 portal happening because it's card number 17. And of course, if I calculate that together, it becomes an 8. So there's a transformation. And for you, I have made out of you Asana, high lounge. You're becoming the horse yourself, looking at yourself from the past and from the future, and recognizing the present moment here and now. So that's the major arcana. Then your court card is the Queen of Cups. If your birthday is between 10th of June and the 12th of July, this is your court card, and you are sitting in the direction of the left spinning path. And the left spinning path, I'm going to explain it to you, is understand the phases of the earth. And so one is 24 hours. The earth spins around its own axis. In 365 days, it spins around the sun. And those are my right spinning readings. The left spinning, and we can see here it's going to the left, and we can see that you are sitting to the left, is the wobble the earth does around its own axis to the left. That wobble lasts 25,800 years, which we divide through 12 zodiac signs, and that creates an age. The age is 2,150 years long. And we're going into the age of Aquarius. left spinning from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And you're also left spinning. And last time you had your full moon reading, and on your full moon you get a left spinning reading. And so the message was this 5 times 8. You had 5 times the number 8. Portal is giving you the power to shine infinitely. Shine infinitely, the love that you are willing to hold, to give. And you are water and water. You are the healer. You are the one woman that handles the emotions on a very deep level. Not as deep as Scorpio, but Scorpio is air and water, and you are water and water. So you are the healer of all the court cards. And so let's have a look what this reading is wanting to tell you. It's a right spinning this time, right? Because you had last time your full moon. You only get on your full moon once a year. You get a left spinning reading, a soul reading, because it comes from deep within to the outside. And the other is the human path, the once a month, the reading that is influenced by the sun, that is highlighting then your moon. So on the position of the Fool, which is also directed in the left spinning cycle, comes La Papesse, the High Priestess. And La Papesse is a revolution, or back then we would say to be a female and called Popess. Right, it's the Pope. And the Popess is heretic, is a revolution, is something that is still to this day not possible. And so, oh boy, this reading begins with the evolution and the revolution of our human race, of the female race. And so this state of consciousness that is coming up here through the state of the Fool, which is the soul speaking to you, is literally giving you the empowerment to become now the female version of the Pope. So let's have a look how this continues. Then on the position of the Magician comes the Fire. So really interesting, the number 19, the 1, which is the Magician, and the 9, which is the Hermit, the identity that you're finding through the understanding that you can become a High Priestess, that you become the female Pope, and the Fire to do so. The Magician is the one that has the wand on its table. And you need that. You need that fire. You need that. You're water and water. You need fire to be able to create such an impact in the world. You need this evolving energy. And together, the 19 becomes a 10. Which then, right, here's the number 2. Here's the 10. You become from a 1 immediately the 10, and so you incorporate her into this fire, into this, now I act, I inspired, and I will create out of myself this character, this personality. It's a state of consciousness that comes from deep within. And then on the position of the High Priestess comes the Fool. So there is this reverse. I'm just gonna create the visual for you. On the position of the Fool, you got the High Priestess. On the position of the High Priestess, you got the Fool. So she's looking over to the Fool, and the Fool is looking at her. Here, they don't have a contact. You see that? In the Rider-Waite, he's going left. If it would be here, he sees her. You see that? Actually, no, he's not even seeing her. He's looking up. And she's looking straight. But here in this version, they kind of see each other. She's looking over to him. And so that's a clear indication that the Fool is letting you know on the position of the High Priestess that this is not a foolish idea, that this is something that your intuition is telling you, why not? Why not being a female pope? Why not? This is, I think, the new age, the revolution that Aquarius is bringing and awakening in you. And this is air, and Aquarius is air. So there is this, yes, I am ready to create in then the identity, in that my inner identity. I create the magic so that I can become like a magician and like the Fool, some empowered energy. On the position of the Empress, then comes the star, les étoiles. So then Aquarius is helping you to become completely naked and like the star, gender neutral, and that all the titles that we are now changed, right? We're starting to say not anymore in Germany, particularly in England or in the American language, you don't have this male-female situation so much. We have more the title of the female and the male are different. And so we also say the word different of the person itself. And so we started a gender shift that we respectfully address now the male and the female in the public. You don't have that because you have the people, the woman, the man. It's both the same. We don't have that. And so this gender star that we're using to shift or separate the words is coming here, right? And you are creating out of yourself now a female pope, a woman that has decided to really shift and bring a huge evolution into this new age. And the new age is here. You give birth to the new age. You give birth to something new. You're ready. You're sitting here and you're pouring out of that knowledge, out of that nakedness, out of that I am the way I am. It's almost like the star is gender neutral. She's pouring the water in the water and the water on earth. And it's the male and female energy of the golden and the silver jar. Wow. Interesting message already, right? And then comes you, and you are the keeper of the Holy Grail. You are the keeper of the water. And you see how she's pouring the water in, and you realize how important this new age is, how important it is that we are learning to accept this new age And so your power comes because you know, and that you have now the direct star and the direct connection above you, the light that is giving you now, the light to the moon, which is waxing. We have on Sunday a full moon in Leo. And you feel that powerful energy. And then comes on the position of the Chariot, the Ace of Pentacles. And this is Aleister Crowley. And it's really interesting because I gave to each position of the 22 major arcanas one deck. And for some reason I gave you Aleister Crowley. It just happens to be in the time frame that these cards were published that you became this card. And I realized yesterday in the German reading that you're the only one that can heal the black magic that Aleister Crowley was using, because you are the healer, because you are this woman that can heal anything if you put your mind to it. And you are putting your mind to it. You becoming the female Pope. And the age of Aquarius is giving you the power to do that. And then comes here on your position the success in money, a success where you can use this new money, this holy money that comes from this understanding. And it's the sun almost in the sky, because in the Rider-Waite, right, there's this hand that is holding the coin and it looks like the sun. And this coin is giving you now the power to bring this star, because the sun is a dwarf star. So there comes this parallel energy of like, yes, the star is only a star because it's so far away. Otherwise it's round. It's like the sun. And here comes the money, and here comes this hand that is offering you the money so that you can be successful, so that you can really shift the energy to become this maybe leader of a revolution. Because here in the Visconti Sforza Tarot, this card is called La Papessa. And La Papessa is the empowerment and a revolution that you have, even the financial. It's almost like it works, right? These two cards together work. And you are getting the support. And you are getting now the success through this position, through this revolutionary state of consciousness that you're bringing. Then comes on the position of the Wheel of Fortune, the number 49, keys on trees. And this is the quiz of life. So you question yourself. You question, why am I up here close to the number 1, close to the sun? And keys on trees, this elephant, which is usually never up here, and if I go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is in the 7. He's in the cage. And he holds in his trunk the key so that he can open it. The number 49, the 4, which then is the responsibility to find further your identity, which is the 9. Here was the 1. Find through magic your identity, and here find now through responsibility your identity. And calculated together, it's a 13, which is the transformation, which is Scorpio. Then you come into transformation. Then you can open the gate. And then calculated together, again, is a 4. And so there is a responsibility to take care now of the star above your head. And Aquarius is helping you to bring this star to you. The star is now the one thing that we're looking up to, and it's very important that you're understanding that. And so when I calculate, of course, the 13, the 49 into the 13, then there is a 1, which is the magician, the fire. You got the fire to do that. And the 3, you got the star, you got the Empress, bringing you the star, bringing you the age of Aquarius to help you to come back down. I think you have to come down. Then on the position of the Hanged Man, which is a change, which is a shift in your state of consciousness, comes the green Seriphos quartz, the number 22, a portal, directly a portal that is giving you a deep understanding that the Hanged Man is wanting you to know that now you have to take life as it is. You have to accept the happiness life can bring. You have to accept the place in the world on where you're at, and heaven on earth, and what is. And it's really interesting because heaven on earth, right? It's this like the heaven, but you're still on earth. You're up in the heavens, but you're still on earth, and you have the key. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's almost like a hand. And the 22, it's almost like directing you to the next step. The 22 calculated together is a 4, right? It's again the responsibility, but the 2 is this foolishness, this beginning of the High Priestess. You beginning really to see that you have to accept all the situations that you created. If you created them, even though unknowingly, right, because you were conditioned, because you, etc., right, then you can get yourself out of it as well. And you are, because you have the key. Then comes on the position of the Tower, which is a shake-up, which is now the crown, the 7, which is connected with this crown, and this star is bringing the swan. And you see how the swan is going the human path forward, and there is a reflection. And this reflection is bringing you finally to go and accept that the path, the human path, is not always an easy path, but is a path that you want to go because you accept what is. And so here comes effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. Infinite creative power. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. So you called to write. You called to bring her forward, to bring her into this world, to begin to change things, to use this fire, this initiation, and also this fire, because the star is like a sun, is a ball of fire. It's so far away, so we just see like a star. And the Age of Aquarius is coming and helping you to write these new stories. Because then comes on the position of the Age of Aquarius, the Four of Pentacles. Now you see here 1, 2, 3, 4 locks, right? And this is very interesting because here are the keys on trees. And he has one key to open this lock. Will this key open also these locks? Because the Four of Pentacles is Sun in Capricorn. And Sun in Capricorn brings a certain richness that can also trap you. With this coin, then you have 5. And 5 of coins is a test, is then again a poverty. So be careful in how you work with the money, in how you recognize that inspiration can also attach us, can also trap us, and certain amount of money can also put us behind bars, trap us. The same here. Sometimes we think we are superior, we're better than others, and no, we're not. We have to always let go and not brag about how our spiritual work is going. So you learning to liberate yourself, because Aquarius is bringing that to you. Aquarius is literally saying, so are you wanting to stay here in this house? You have become the house yourself through the Four of Pentacles. So then, on the position of the moon, which is in your sign, and also you share the moon with Pisces. Here is the lay of the land, the ancestral wisdom is coming. And it's the number 34, a 7. So you become the star, you standing up here on this mountain, you have liberated yourself. And you're standing up on this mountain here again. You have liberated yourself. You have freed yourself. And you are recognizing now that on the position of the Chariot came the Ace of Pentacles. And so laying new land and using the ancestral wisdom is helping you now to have a success that maybe is by buying a piece of land where you can do the work, where you can create whatever it is that you want to create. Because then on the position of the Sun comes the number 6, the Sun itself. So the Sun then melts. It's really interesting how this looks, right? The Sun, and then the Sun melts the attachment to a physical location, the attachment of thinking that you have a social status And that social status, because that's what Capricorn is all about. Capricorn is all about the social status. Melts these locks, because now you are sitting here and you are looking at the sun. And it's not a couple, it's two women. And so you recognize that the sun, right? The sun is bringing you the money, and the sun that is going into the age of Aquarius is also bringing a social status to you, but you gotta let go of that, because otherwise you feel imprisoned. You gotta free yourself from that. And then comes here this card on the position of the wake-up call, the guardian angel. Comes then the wake-up call. Here, these two are the habits. Examine habits that may impede the pathways to your goals and encourage beneficial ones. So it's a 6/6 portal. And examine your habits. Examine why you impede the pathways to your goals and encourage beneficial ones. Why you are getting stuck maybe in things like this. Getting stuck in things like this. Superiority, knowing I am the 7th chakra, knowing that I am the success, knowing that I have the star. Letting go of that, because otherwise you're not going to really be able to lay the land. You're not going to be really able to feel how the sun is literally melting away. And it's really interesting. It's like here you are alone on this mountain, looking at the sun. And now we're getting a close-up, and now there's a friend, and you see the sun, and we see a close-up. And then here they separate. And here there is her behind the bars. Here the elephant is behind the bars. So this idea, this revolution, can imprison you, can make you alone, and make you feel like you are actually behind bars in a prison. But you have the key. And so here these habits, examine habits that may impede the pathways to your goals and encourage beneficial ones. And then the last card on the world comes the King of Swords, Aquarius. So you have the Major Arcana and the Court card for Aquarius. Then a pathway is opening up for you. A pathway where a true liberation will bring you into this portal. And you can walk this path, because it's almost like she's deciding to leave. She's deciding to leave this safety. She's deciding to leave this safety. And even this safety, these 3 stages, the crown that every pope wears is these 3 states of consciousness. And so the 3 is as a triangle here in this portal. And that portal is walked by you alone, and you go through, and then you arrive at the true liberation and at the true triangle, which is inside here. And the triangle on her head is not that important anymore. You don't need to be a female pope, to be a spiritual leader, to be a spiritual inspiration. You just need to know that all of these energies are stories that either trap you or free you. And here she goes to this triangle, and you have understood what it's all about. You have understood that the age of Aquarius is speaking to you already now, that the future is by understanding, by knowledge, by a wisdom, by knowing that the sun is a star, that the sun is a star and it just looks round, but the real stars that we see far, far away, they are huge, huge. They're incredible. And so here you have the message that examine yourself all the time. Examine yourself, that you don't want to be trapped, that you want to understand that this position that she is holding is here the triangle that's pointing upwards, which is reaching into a spiritual consciousness. Wow, what a message. I hope I see you in the next one, because then the earth is spinning in such a way that we see behind the sun the age of Pisces. So actually the old age is giving you information. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.